Okay, we have this book button here. I will be adding a booking page here now. So this is a new feature sort of thing. So let's say in the features, we will create another package or directory. Package is the naming that is Android Studio has given. So we will have obviously a dart file, booking.dart. This will obviously contain other things like all the export statements. So we will have a presentation folder here, and inside this presentation we will create our first file that will be booking underscore page dot dart. On the click of book button, let's navigate to booking page and then draw this page. Okay, so before that we will first have at least a basic scaffold here so that it is okay. So booking is there, booking page is there. Once you add a page, you know what to do. You just go to routes and add another page. Now you will wonder where this page should go. Should it go to home page or should it lie down outside? Clearly, home page is a different thing, and just like event detail page, it should be at the same level. So we will run our watcher, or let's run it for let's run the watcher. Fine. And then we will start to create this, but before that we will go to this book button. So basically this book button is in event detail page. Okay, and inside this event booking page we will have this button. Now what you will do, this is event navigation. It's not home navigation anymore, right? So you need to create another file here which will be event navigation. Okay, of course I know this might be a little confusing. So if you don't believe or you like that, okay, it's part of home, then you can have rename it to event navigation itself. So for the simplicity and lesser files, let's do this. Let's have this one and open booking. Okay, so let's have this thing, open booking, and here we will say booking route, and from where this booking route will come, it will come okay, and it will also require event obviously, because we will show event there as well. We will show the event item, and then we will show other things related to event. So let's go to booking page and let's add events here. Event, first of all, the event. Okay, so this is done. Now we can go to home navigation. We can say that okay, it needs to be regenerated. See, so it failed because because of this failed. If there are some syntax issues like these, then it generally fails. So now it is succeeded. Now we will go here and we'll say context dot sorry, not context, we will get the instance of get it. So get it home navigation dot open booking, and with this event. So when we go to this function, it's all, everything is working for us. Okay, now what we will do, we will start the application and see whether we are able to navigate to this empty page or not. Okay, so let's start that. The app is started. I will go to any booking, any event detail, and then I will press book. So this is the empty page that we see. First thing, of course, app bar. So similar to the previous pages, like favorite page, we will have a title here. So why not, let's copy from there. Generally these type of things you can make a common app bar, but it depends. Ideally in bigger projects you have a custom app bar where you just give the title and it handles everything for you. So you can also do that here as well, but let's keep it simple and just copy this from here, the app bar, and use it here. Okay, here you can say booking. So as a result we will see booking here, and there will be a back button obviously. On the press of back button, we will go back here because app bar's default back button takes you back to the previous page. Fine, and the center title is false. That is great. Okay, so first thing will be we will add a event item here. Okay, so let's add a body, and I will just start coding here because many of the things I have already taught. So let's just do that. So why we are taking stack? Because after this column we need to have the position button that will take us to the next page, that would be payments page. So let's say position button here, and the text will be generally, and because we want everything to be left aligned, let's use start here, and then there will be children. There will be some left horizontal padding required, so let's add. Okay, let's add the first child. So first child will be the text that would be sort of like a heading sort of thing. We will say that okay, this is the heading, this is the event. After this text we will have another widget called event item. So event item, it shows a event. So let's run till here. So we have this much available. See the power of using common widgets. We could easily create this much UI just in a second. But what we want is, we want this to have a quantity switcher. Basically, as of now you are booking a ticket, right? You might book multiple tickets at a time. So for that you will have a a quantity slider sort of thing, or a quantity switcher where there will be quantity written in the center, and then you will have minus and plus icons left and right side. When you press minus and plus icons, the quantity will increase, and based on that this cost will also increase, right? So instead of location, we will not show location here, or let's do one thing, let's show the location, but let's show the quantity switcher also. If the flag that with quantity is there, like let's pass this flag to event item, that I want to show event item with quantity. Okay, so let's say this. Okay, now whatever we have to do is relying on event item. So let's go to event item and declare another variable here, final bool. Okay, great. Now where we will show the quantity, below text location. Okay, so let's do this. If with quantity is true, then we show a quantity widget. And this also is one of the pattern that you can use. You can have a private widget. So we will create a private widget here itself, and create a stateless widget file here, or you can go to event and create this. Basically go to widgets and create it as a common widget. Okay, so let's have a quantity widget defined in our widgets. We will see later what to do with this. Let's first import it here, and there will be one thing that we want to pass here is value. Okay, obviously, because value will be the incremented value or the initial value that we want to show here, right? Let's say 1 here, and that's it. Okay, so let's now import is done. Great. And one should be the required variable here. Now, it's the first thing that we have to do in quantity is to create a container. Let's say because the quantity widget will look like there is a curved rectangle. On top of that there will be 3 elements in a row fashion, minus sign, then the number, and then the plus sign. So let's do in that fashion. This container obviously will have some padding, and this padding will be a smaller one, or I will add the padding later. But before that let's start with the bottom widget. let's have the row so that you know how incrementally you can make it, right? So let's have a text here, and this text will be minus sign, and the style of that would be, then there will be a plus sign also, but between them there will be a text which will show us the value, so quantity here, and of course it has to be converted to toString because it's a number and text understands only string. Let's try to run it if it works fine. Now is this correct? Okay, let's run it. So we see this -1 and then plus. Let's go back to quantity, add some padding, add some spacing to these things. Like first of all, this text widget should be wrapped, should have a padding. So there is some gap. So we will have a horizontal padding here. Okay, it looks sufficient. Similar padding we will apply to plus. We don't want to apply some padding to 1, 2, 3. It's not needed because that will automatically change. That's not a problem. Now let's wrap this padding widget into inkwell widget because we will be tapping on it, obviously to a decrement or increment. So on tap will be used, and similarly let's say inkwell wrapped here as well. Let's run it. So what will happen when I click on it, you will see a background, right? A background popping up. So we also need to have some background below that, behind our this row. So we will have a container now, and this will make our widget more visually appealing. Let's have a decoration first of all. Here we will have a border radius, and border radius will be let's say 4. We don't want too much because it's a smaller element. We don't want too much of the border. Then the color would be gray, and there will be shade of 100 because that's very light gray color. And let's see how it looks. And there is no background. Probably it's very light. Let's make it shade 300 or 400. Okay, perfect. So we see a shade. Now this is the case, right? We can say row's maximum width is row's main axis size is max. So let's make it a minimum so that this comes at a very the container also takes that much space, whichever rows tells that too, and it looks very dark. Let's say it to 300. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect, matches with near about with font size also, fonts also. Now when I click on minus plus, we don't see any trigger, but that's okay, not a problem. I think we can give some color also, splash color and all, but leave it as it is. We can give some more padding, I think, horizontal padding. Let's say let's give it 12, and here as well 12, so there is more space. Now it looks better. And now if what happens if I give different text to it, so for example 2. Okay, and what, so you see this plus icon changed, slided a little bit because 1 was thinner than 2. So we don't want that user taps on plus and then that plus moves to a different position. So what we can do is we can fix the width of sized widget, fix the width of this text with some value like 40, so that it never changes its value. And we will also say that please take center alignment so that it is never at a different location. So we have this one, and now we can whenever we make it, even if we make it 10, this plus icon will not change, right? So to make it more elegant, let's make it 30 and let's finish it that way. Okay, this looks good. Now getting back to event item, if quantity is there, we also want that there should be some gap from top, right? So let's say a padding of 8, that would give sufficient spacing from the location and it will look better. So I think 16 will also work. Yeah, it works better now. Great. So let's work on the functionality now. Whenever we click on this item, we have to do some stuff, right? So what we can do is, first of all, this happens from booking page. So for booking page, we will add two more one listener for quantity listener. Basically, the name of that would be quantity listener, and it will hold the quantity. So let's convert this to stateful widget, and we have done this in past, so I will not speak much about it. Fine. So quantity notifier is there. Now we need to add two things because we want to change this widget. Let's wrap this in value notifier builder, value listenable builder, because later we will anyway. So this will use value listenable quantity notifier. Pass this quantity, the latest quantity, to event item, which will be the value, and then we will have on quantity decrease function. Okay, and this will just do quantity notifier dot value minus minus. Okay, and when we have quantity increase, it will have value plus plus. Of course, we can further make this function better by saying that it cannot go below 1 or it cannot go maximum 5, and that's all the logic that you can put later on, but this is the basic functionality. I will go to event item and declare these five functions, these three values extra that we have created now. So let's say final int value. Okay, and these things will also go in our quantity widget, which we have created here. Now we will go back to event item, and to this quantity we will supply on quantity increase function like this, on quantity increase function, and in on quantity decrease we will supply on quantity decrease. Great, so we have supplied this. Of course, now this cannot be a const, and to the quantity we have to supply the value that we pass from there, right? Do we have a value itself from there? I doubt it. Let's go to booking page. It's quantity variable. Okay, so it has to be quantity variable, and it has to be quantity variable. Okay, fine. So all functions are ready except for this. There is some error. Let's fix this. There has to be these three parameters applied here as well. Let's format it, and there we go. Do we have any errors now? Okay, in the event list, and fine. We can't make we can't make these two functions or these three things as required because they won't be supplied if with quantities false, right? So what we can do is make them nullable, and when we supply to quantity, we add this non-nullable thing to these functions, because when we are showing quantity, we know that if quantity is there, then this will be supplied and things like that. Okay, fine. I think let's rerun this application. The whole thing is done to make the quantity switcher work. Okay, I will go to book, and when I click one, okay, nothing changes. Why? Let's go to booking page, and there is this value which is here. It should be working. Let's run the app in debug mode. Go to booking page and supply a event item here, and yeah, let's run it in debug mode. Let's also go to quantity and apply this debugger here as well. Okay, so when I click on this event, I go to book and we reach here. The value is, it's getting evaluated. It should be 1, of course, 1. And we go here. Okay, here as well it will be 1. Then I click on plus. Ideally, okay, there is no function call basically. So we have a problem in the call itself. Okay, so there is a catch. We didn't, call these increment decrement functions here. We supplied everything, but we didn't call them. So we need to make them call as well, right? So on quantity increase, no. For the first item, it will be decrease. And for the second item, it would be increase. On quantity increase. And that's it. Let me restart the application. Let me remove all the breakpoints from these pages because I am sure that this will work now. So go to this page, go to booking, and when you press plus, the value is getting changed. Now what next? We need to multiply this value with the quantity, right? So head on to event item, and there this cost is there, correct? Where's the cost? Location is there, presentable date is there. Oh, cost is here. Fine. So cost is here. What we need to do is whenever we are displaying the cost, let's multiply this with quantity. And because it is a string, let's do quantity null check. Yeah. So I'm thinking quantity will never be null. It will always be 1 at least. Whenever, even if it's an event item, it won't be null. So why make our lives difficult? So let's make it non-nullable, and from the booking page, let's make it non-nullable and supply 1 here by default, and then go back here, remove this exclamatory, and that's it. Our code is fine now. And yeah, great. Now let's run it again. Oops. This is something weird. Dollar. Okay, let me rerun it. This was something weird thing. Click on this book, and then when I click on plus, okay, it's a string, right? So it's appending, I think, the quantity 3 times. Okay, fine. So let's not do like this. It should be calculating event cost into quantity. We have a better option. Let's cut it from here. We are anyway getting quantity here. Let's calculate the final cost or total cost. Oh, this is very weird. I think this single quotes is creating issues or what? Should not be creating. Total cost to a string, and then total cost. Is it? Oh, got it. Oh, nice. I understood the problem. See, string together with a number has weird results. In Java language, the number gets converted to a string and it is appended to it, right? In this case, it's actually multiplying the string and printing that many times. So this is something new that I have learned today. What we can do here is very easy. Ideally, cost will never be string. It will be double. So let's make it double, right? Let's make this whole thing double, and let's do the same thing with discount cost as well, right? That would make more sense from bigger picture. That would make more sense. And remove these single quotes from here. That would be better for us. Okay, so let's remove it from here, and obviously fine. So whenever we supply this value from APIs as well, we will be converting them from string to double when we use them in our domain models. So that's a theory behind that. Great. So I have updated this mock. and now it should not be a problem, but there will be many problems related to where we have used null and where we have compared with 0, things like that. So instead of comparing with 0, we need to now compare it with instead of comparing with a string 0, we now have to compare it with this thing. Object can't be compared to parameter type string. Okay, event or discount count, it can be nullable. So if it is nullable, then do this, and that's it. That should be the code for us. If discount cost is okay, oh fine, so basically toString, great, this will work. And similarly, is there any other place where we are playing with this in the event item? Okay, let's remove this, and this event.discount cost.toString, and this one, happy. Now let's run it again, and this time the previous error should also go away and we are okay to show total cost. Great, superb. What we need to do is that we bring our dollar back from there and attach it here. Okay, because we are putting it in single quotes, it's already converted to string. So that's it. Okay, we have our dollar back. Can we go back and see the dollars? Yes, we can. Great. So we have this quantity switcher. In next, we will be adding 3 items for payment mode, and we will be thinking if we can go to a payment page where we can add some card details, some expiry, some CVV, and let's see what can be covered in the next chapter. If I cover other things in the same chapter, it would be too much. So let's switch to a different chapter.